amazing. Rocky, what is you?
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Sunset chill days so long gone, can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, painted on the blue sky's crowd. And yet somehow that way is fake, with eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaii that's freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be a free days of you and me. I'm
sailing!
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzles in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Dire wolves back and so are you.
Oh yeah,
Belvedere flying so the moon.
oh yeah.
And everyone singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wonder Ken, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. Have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, epic, it's all you know how to do.
You wake up blue to
Epic, epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic, epic, epic. Epic.
Hear ye, come on, come on, to the never stopping daily strife, and it's called simpler times, they beckon so, floating on the water with no phone. Can we get away now, find a way now, somehow step out of this stream into a dream of slow it down. Jay says that he remembers a place before the never, ever, ever river severed our tranquility. Counting cars by Highway 30, sitting in the porch swing, guessing colors so poorly. Yeah. Is the next one a blue or red one? Maybe silver, maybe gray. What a way to spend a day.
Ladies
and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! It's a packed showing for the Odyssey here, guys. Hey, isn't this a movie that's supposed to be like making $1 billion, right? That's what everyone told me. Oh, right, this is in an IMAX theater. So it's empty, like I've been saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing out there? It's time for the Odyssey review, and it's just me for now. Jonas is going to be joining in just a second, but welcome one and all, and it's where we heed the call for explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve, and that's what we're going to do, folks. Truthful, we always are. We got Jonas joining us right now, actually. Jonas, have you seen... What are you doing? That doesn't look like... Left is tears. Did you steal Ben Shapiro's cup? He doesn't know. He can't speak. Jonas, are you drinking something?
Sorry. No, I'm not drinking anything. I'm fully hydrated. Drinking leftist tears.
Hang on a second. Let's do it this way. You go up there, okay?
That's fine with me. Sure.
Okay. Oh no, we're having some roboting from you, Jonas. But hang tight. We'll get you back full blown. Folks, welcome aboard. We got 500 of you joining us right now, and it's a good thing to have each and every one of you. We're going to be talking about the Odyssey, and when we say it's Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, I mean it's Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. This is not the Odyssey. This is Christopher Nolan's. But in case you missed it, folks, we'll play it one more time. This is Marvin's theater that he's already in Greenville, South Carolina. I don't know what theater it is in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm not familiar with the area, but Marvin is already there for the Southeast Gaming Exchange. He stopped by to see the Odyssey, and this is his theater.
It's a packed showing for the Odyssey here, guys. Hey, isn't this a movie that's supposed to be like making $1 billion, right? That's what everyone told me. Oh, right, this is in an IMAX theater. So it's empty, like I've been saying.
Now, Jonas, we've been hearing that some of the IMAX theaters are also not full, so this is not looking good, eh?
No, not at all. I don't know what the delay is going to be on this. I'm going to work through this the best I can.
You're good.
But, man, I bet they're wishing for some Project Hail Mary type of attendance right now.
Not happening, folks. Not happening. By the way, if we hit the Super Chat goal for this evening, 30 Super Chats, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to rank Christopher Nolan's films because I can already hear this now. So we need you to help us hit this goal because I can hear the boo birds out there saying, well, Pro just hates everything. Even though we gave, as you said, Project Hail Mary an 8.5. Even though I gave the Super Mario movie high marks. I think a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10. I don't exactly remember. I know that Michael, we gave really high score for that movie. So we had a great time. And I cannot wait, Jonas, for this this Rocky documentary, this movie coming out where they cover Sylvester Stallone attempting to get Rocky made. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Wow. Yes, I have. And I got to say, I felt like I was being manipulated while watching that trailer, but I enjoyed being manipulated by that trailer.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And
I'm just going to tell you, I don't think it's a documentary. I'll say that.
I know. But and also, there's Godzilla Minus Zero. I'm looking forward to that. So what do we think about the Odyssey? Well, we're going to talk about it in just a second. Jonas has not seen it. I have, and I've told Jonas a little bit about it. Jonas, are you going to go see this in the theater? Is that likely for you now?
Unless it's an assignment, I have no intention of watching this movie. It's, maybe I'll see it in theaters. Maybe if I am sent a screener by someone, I'll watch the movie. And by that, I mean someone not working for Warner Brothers. Maybe I would watch it. Universal is who released this film, so maybe it would be Warner Brothers. It just has zero interest for me outside of the completely academic.
Well, I've got a photo up here of what I think the second weekend is going to look like for this movie, but haha. All right, folks, let's get your Super Chats up on the screen and see what you have to say. We've got Timu Dr. Demento out there for $4.99. Hello, everyone. Whether the Odyssey was great or terrible, let's just keep having fun. No doubt, we will do that. Detailed Devil for $4.99. President on TV with captions. Pro Show on iPad. Not sad. Their NGO is gone, but Ben & Jerry's non-dairy fudge fizz to sip. Good to go. By the way, Pro, was Lupita to fly as Helen? No. Lupita looks They actually make every woman except for Charlize Theron look very worse than they typically do on any given day.
She's in the League of Theron.
They purposefully make every woman look far worse than normal. It's an artistic decision, and Helen is not an attractive lady in this. I don't want to be mean. Lupita is an attractive woman, but she is playing someone who is not attractive in this movie. Doge Pound for 2. Argentina football is the gift that keeps on giving, even if it is a messy affair. We've got Gunner out there for 50 crowns. As a Norwegian, allow me to apologize for putting Viking rowing into ancient Greece. As we said, this is definitely Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And then Spudtack is dropping a $4.99. Spudtack, if you meant to send in a message, let our mods know, and we will get it up on the screen for you. All right, Jonas, are we ready to dive into the Odyssey review? Folks, we're going to start this off in a way that we're going to do it spoiler-free, and then halfway through the show, I'm going to let you know. So if you want to drop out, if you don't want spoilers, and there are spoilers in this.
Ask you, what do you mean by spoilers? Like she gets back to Greece kind of spoilers, or
so
like because this is an ancient story that I think most people are on some level familiar with.
So when dealing with a 3,000-year-old story, Jonas, it's hard to have spoilers. But as I said, this is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. This is not The Odyssey. And it's not The Odyssey in some very specific ways that I actually told you about before coming on here. And I'm trying very hard. It'll be very difficult to do the spoiler-free review and not talk about these things, other than to say it deviates from the source material significantly. Fair?
Yeah. It's just, I know how The Odyssey turns out, but I don't know how Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey trademark turns out.
Well, a little bit like John Wick. That would be but that would be a good thing, right? I don't know if this is a good thing. Folks, let's dive in. We won't leave you waiting any longer. It's time for the review of a movie that has been contentious and ratioed, and Hollywood's been trying to say with everything they got. Let's talk about it. Is it a winner, or is this a stinker that'll be bombing after the first weekend? It's a 3,000-year-old story called The Odyssey, but this is no story from Homer. This is very different. When it's called an interpretation by Christopher Nolan, it means he's rewriting a bunch of the stuff. But is the movie good? Is it bad? Well, there's one thing for sure, folks. As we dive into our spoiler-free, honest, out-of-the-theater review, this is a movie that is extraordinarily long. This movie goes on and on and on. And unfortunately, what I would say about this film is that the first 2 hours are difficult to watch. It is a ton of exposition. It is mostly callbacks and remembrances and stories from yesteryear told through the eyes of others as we go through 2 hours. 2 hours of abomination and horror to abomination and horror. And if you thought you were going to get any kind of beauty in this film, think again. Because my thought on almost any film is, if you're going to do the horrors and the abominations, if you're going to do a Saving Private Ryan, I get it, I understand. But you got to give people something that they're fighting for, something beautiful. And there's no point in this movie. I mean, here's something, we get a puppy. And listen, they make this crummy too, okay? You know what? I'll spoil this. This is teeny weeny itsy bitsy. This puppy that they save is one of the puppies they don't throw off the cliff in the movie. Yay. Yeah. No, I think Jonas is aghast and a gasp right now.
They throw puppies off of buildings?
The good guys are throwing the puppies off a cliff that they don't want, and that's a puppy they keep. So,
are they? Why are they killing the puppies? That makes no sense. Why would they not just leave the puppies there?
Cruella de Vil. Not even she throws the puppies off individually. Wah, wah, wah.
Are they trying to? Okay, so forgive me on this one. Are they trying to villainize these people? Or are they trying to say this is just how hard the times were? Why would they do this to
Let me come back to that. That's a great question, Jonas. Let me finish the thought on the axe, and then we'll come back to that, because that is a key part of this spoiler-free review. There are 2 hours. There's 2 hours that are very difficult to watch, and we don't get happiness. So we have nothing to fight for. We really don't have a scene where Odysseus and his wife are happy. We get a lovemaking scene where they're sad. We never get... What? Yep, they're sad. I would
suggest they're doing it wrong.
No, it's the last time they're going to do it before he leaves, so they're sad. But we never get them, like, being a family. We never get to see him happy with his son. None of that. There's no joy. And for 2 hours, it is a joyless jump from one exposition to the next exposition of horrible, terrible, awful things. Okay. The third act is where I thought, well, finally, and by third act, I mean the third hour. By the third hour of this film, we get to a point where it turns into John Wick in ancient Greek times. And in the third act, I was having a good time until a few of the final flipperooskies they pull, where they try to pull the Sixth Sense. And at that point, I said, this movie doesn't make sense. And I'm now not liking it as much anymore. Okay? But I'm not going to tell you what those things are in the spoiler free. We'll talk about it later. All right. Jonas, you had a great question. Are they trying to villainize the good guys, right? Odysseus and his crew. Right. And the answer seems to be yes. Now, not everybody's going to figure this out, Jonas. Not everybody who watches this film, because you got to understand some stuff about this. In the original Odyssey, 3,000 years old, Odysseus is a hero. Is that right, Jonas?
Yeah, he's a war hero. They're waiting for him to return, or unless you're one of the suitors, you're waiting for his wife to give up on him returning. Right.
So in this movie, because Odysseus is sort of the original superhero in storytelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the original Superman. Okay.
He got it. He's one of the few people who has a story with a sequel.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good point. So in this movie, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, Odysseus, I would say, is not necessarily a hero. And it's going to be hard for me to explain why, so I'm going to leave this as generic as I can because I don't want to spoil it. But in this movie, Odysseus does something that we all for the past 3,000 years thought was a cool thing that the heroes used to win. But in this movie is depicted as being a war crime. And as a result, Odysseus is shackled with guilt. And he is actually at the heart of civilization crumbling. And he is living with that.
But the puppies, that's fine to them, right?
Well, a puppy or two, thrown off a cliff, it'd be okay.
I'm just gonna point out that this is shorthand in movies. If you want somebody to be you have them cruel to animals.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the casting. The casting is bizarre, Jonas. And there's a lot of stunt casting here. Here's what I think is going on. This is an ultra-masculine film. And I think Christopher Nolan figured out, if I make an ultra-masculine film, I have to do something for it to be an awards contender, or for me to be able to get away with making a masculine film. And what he did is he did a lot of very interesting casting choices that we've talked about, we know about. One of those casting choices, if I can get this pull up, let's see, there we go.
Was it Cameron Manheim as Calypso?
One of the interesting choices, well, I'll tell you what. Before I say the thing about the artist formerly known as Paige, who plays Sinon, is that the right name, Jonas?
I believe so. S-I-N-O-N?
Yeah,
or
Sinon.
S-I-N-N-O-N?
Who's not in the original Odyssey at all, right?
Right.
Okay. So before I get to that, let me say this. If you go to the Odyssey expecting it to be Greek, that's not what this is. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is not Greek. It's quasi-Greek. Like, I guess the islands look Greek, but it's not Greek. And it's not Greek in the way, Jonas, that if you went and watched a historic Japanese samurai film, and suddenly there were Europeans in the ancient Japanese samurai film, and then there was a black guy, and then there was a Native American, and suddenly there's an Australian with a boomerang. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the kind of thing where you'd say, well, that's odd. And if you did a historic African film, and suddenly, you had a mariachi band riding around on donkeys, you'd say, I didn't see that coming, frankly. I was not prepared for that. There is a scene in this film that I think stands out where, for some reason, somebody in the ship that Odysseus is on decides they're going to jump off and swim in the water. For those of you who have read the book, you might know what I'm talking about, but no spoilers, so we'll no spoil. There's a scene where somebody jumps off the ship to go swim towards an island. And it's an Asian guy. And we've never seen the Asian guy before. It's just suddenly Odysseus has an Asian soldier on his ship, and that Asian soldier jumps off. And there are sprinkled throughout this film all kinds of people from all kinds of ethnicities, except nobody looks Greek. So I guess I would take it back. I guess what I would say is it would be like watching a Japanese samurai film set in the 1700s where not a single person is Japanese. You know, it's a bizarre thing. Okay, the casting choice. All right, the artist formerly known as Paige is in this film for less than 5 minutes. But this character, who was not in the original Odyssey, but is in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, is a very key character. And this actor does not accurately portray a large, burly, masculine male soldier from ancient Greece. It does not work. I'm not trying to be mean, but I have to accurately describe this. This person, and you can see them on the screen right now, this person plays this role and appears like a 12-year-old boy who has an aging disorder and thus has wrinkles. The other thing is, because this person does not have a traditionally, I'm doing everything I can, a traditionally masculine voice, when you run into them at a later point where they have to give their speech to Odysseus and they're angry, it sounds like Marge's sisters from The Simpsons instead of a scary masculine voice. You know, it's like, Marge, what did you do to us? Why? You know, we were just trying to sit around and watch movies. That's actually way deeper than it actually is, but okay. And you see this kind of stuff again, okay? So like, here is, what's this guy's name, Jonas? The guy, Leguizamo, is that his name? John Leguizamo?
Luigi Mario.
Okay. Well, he's in here, and he has an accent, and that's fine. I don't know what ancient Greek people, sounded like, but it's still a little odd to have an accent that doesn't match anyone else's. And
wait, like a British accent, so he just sounds ancient, or
no, it's not a British accent. I'll let people watch it and figure it out on their own. I'm not going to try to guess it, but it's not the accent you're looking for. So this is an odd film, and it's 2 hours of slogging.
It was odd that he sounded like Sid the Sloth.
Yeah. But Jonas, there are people out there who are going to like this film. There are. And some of our friends are going to like this film. Some of our friends are going to like this film, and they're going to be afraid to say it because they don't want to get hit with the backlash. And I get that. I'm not afraid of it, of course, but
there's people in the chat who like this film, and that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But I understand why they like it. They like it because if you can get through those 2 hours, there's a third act that is, by golly, it's revenge time. And folks, if you need a good revenge movie, that third act, if you could skip the first 2 hours, that third act is just flat out revenge. I mean, it is revenge after revenge after revenge, and the revenge is glorious until the end. And because this is spoiler free, I won't say what it is they do that changes the Odyssey completely. I'll simply say it means that Odysseus is not necessarily a hero. And they pull a Sixth Sense situation with, I won't say the actress. I won't tell you who is the Sixth Sense character, but somebody's playing Bruce Willis in this movie. Somebody is the Bruce Willis character from Sixth Sense. And that also flips everything to do with the Odyssey. So if you go into this and you recognize this is based on a 3,000-year-old story, but it is definitely not the 3,000-year-old story, it takes those characters and twists and turns it in odd, strange ways. And if you recognize it's going to be a very hard film to get through for 2 hours, technically amazing. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The cinematography is awesome. The set design is awesome. It's not historic in any way. The dialogue is difficult because the dialogue, although I had no problems understanding it, They refuse to use contractions, but they use modern American accents and dialect without contractions again. But then sometimes they'll say things that just like we were using classical kind of speech just in modern English, and then they'll be like, "Blank you, you mother," it's like, what? What?
Huh?
Where did that come from? Oh, there's one other thing I need to say. There's another thing. The plot of this film completely and totally revolves around and it's not obvious at the first, but I don't think this is a spoiler, honestly. This film revolves around the idea that the golden rule and morality and ethics precedes Christianity and is part of ancient Greece, or Judeo-Christianity, I should say, and precedes that, and that there is something called Zeus's law, and that breaking Zeus's law is a horrific, terrible moral sin that is unforgivable, and it basically means you're supposed to be a really good person. So that's the movie as best as I can tell you, folks. It's a beautiful film in many parts. It's muddled in others. The dialogue is difficult. The sound is awful. There are very loud, abrasive sounds. It is almost unbearable in the Cyclops scene. But this movie is trying to say something. This is not slop. It just doesn't come together. It just doesn't work in the end. There's too many things changed and strange. And by the end of the film, you just say, we could have done this in 2 hours. We didn't need 3 hours plus. Or we could have done this as 2 movies, although the first movie would have then been unwatchable. Jonas, your thoughts on the review so far? Then I'll pull the score up. Go for it. Ask me questions. I'll see what I can do.
I do have one question. Was the soundtrack any good? You said the sound wasn't
No.
good, but sometimes like Interstellar, one of the complaints about Interstellar that I disagree with, that a lot of people are like, I can't hear what they're saying when the scene it's not that you're communicating information, it's that the soundtrack is probably more important than the dialogue.
So Travis Scott as the bard is awful. Now he's not awful. He's doing his best he can, but it is awful to have. And again, it makes no sense to have somebody in dreadlocks in ancient Greece. It just doesn't make any sense. And he's the bard, and he's beating the floor. It'd be like if a sumo wrestler showed up. Like, I love sumo wrestlers, but if a sumo wrestler shows up in ancient Greece, I'm gonna be like, I don't get this. I love E Honda, but I don't need the 1,000-fist slap right now. So here is Travis Scott the Bard. And by the way, they would never do this with any other kind of thing, right? They would never give you a historical African movie and be like, you know what we need in here? We need Vanilla Ice, man. We need him. But he's banging his staff and he says, I guess poetic things, but it's just not, it does not work. It is awful. Okay. The soundtrack though, there's no music per se, and there's no, that I can remember, any orchestral stuff. It's like if you took sheet metal and you banged it, because they're trying to use what could have been instruments then, but they talked about gongs, Gongs, but the gongs they're using in this are not the kind of you're used to. It's like giant sheets of metal that are just rackety. And then they use a lot of human voice work, but it's not Gregorian chant. It's something else. I don't know. It's layered. This is going to sound worse than it is. It's not this bad, but it's like layered moaning.
Yeah. Who did the soundtrack?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody who shouldn't have done it.
Yeah. This sounds like Nolan's gone off his rocker a bit. Is one of the few people in Hollywood that can do whatever he wants and have other people pay for it. And here we are.
I will say that Matt Damon does a tremendous job. I mean, he gives it all. And Anne Hathaway, although I disagree with the way her character is written, she gives it everything she's got. And Tom Holland, although he doesn't get much, really, he does what he can with it. But Matt Damon is really carrying everything in this movie. He is carrying everything. And he does. If Matt Damon did not have the performance, this is a much more difficult movie and a harder score to give. Jonas, any other questions you got?
I do have a question about, I've heard from several people that Matt Damon and Tom Holland's scenes together are actually quite effective.
Yes.
And that it's probably one of the better performances that Tom Holland has given in a popular movie.
It almost saves the movie. That part that they're talking about almost saves the movie. And I thought it was going to. What I thought was, this is so odd to me because if this was a 90-minute or a 2-hour film, like I went through 60 minutes of awful to get to 30 minutes of good, but boy, this is good. And they had me where I thought that's how this is going to be, that I've suffered through 2 hours, but this final hour somehow is making up for it. And the Tom Holland, Matt Damon scenes, I thought, when they were happening, I thought, this is it. And then we get to the very, very end of the film, and that's when they do the switcheroo that I thought, that doesn't work for me. And now I'm disappointed. Because it's kind of like John. It's kind of like if you got. Well, it's kind of like Jonas. If you get 2 unpleasant hours, and then you get an hour of John Wick, and I like John Wick, and then John Wick gets told he's bad for being John Wick, or the audience gets told John Wick is bad for being John Wick, and that's where I said, oh,
right, which is inappropriate for John Wick. You have the audience show up for one thing, and then you get preached at. So the original Odyssey, there's many different interpretations of what the morals of the Odyssey would be, but it's a man coming home to reclaim what's his. There's themes of loyalty, steadfastness, endurance. What are the themes of this film?
PTSD, war crimes, delayed gratification, and vengeance.
Well, the last two sound like they could be a formula for a good movie. The first two, why would anyone want to pay to see that?
So if they had hammered home the delayed gratification aspect of this movie would be stellar, because they've got the recipe for that. If both Odysseus and his wife delay their gratification, they delay everything for the other. And if that's and parts of the movie parts of the movie get this, where Odysseus is put in contrast. The reason that he is the guy who the gods allow to survive is because he has the willpower to not fall for the lust or the sin or the the hunger. He manages to subdue his emotions and his drives in order to survive. And if that and his wife's determination to wait for him and his son's determination to never give up, if that was the theme of the film, that everybody should emulate that, and then the world around you, no matter how barbaric it is, cannot defeat you in that, then we've got a movie. And unfortunately, it teases that, we get some of that, and then it abandons that. And that makes it less than. Okay. Jonas, it's time for a review score on this, eh? And then we'll go to spoilers. Sound good to you?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Now, folks, before I put the review score up, I just want to let you know there are going to be a lot of people who like this film, and there are going to be a lot of people who don't like the film. The people who are going to like this film, people who really love attention to detail in film, and they're cinephiles, and if they adore that, this movie is going to make they'll forget all the rest of the stuff. The people who are going to love it, if you are an admirer of history, but you also don't mind revising history, you might go into this like academically, like as an academic film, and you might come out, because I can hear some of my friends saying, oh, it was amazing how they took this and that from the Odyssey and they twisted it just the right way. And I can see people getting kind of lost in that and loving it. And then I can see people who love a revenge tale. And they say, I don't care about all that stuff, bro. You're way too intellectual. You're over your skis, man. This is too much. I just wanted to see him get revenge, and I got exactly what I wanted after 2 hours. They're probably going to have a good time. I think the people who are going to hate the film, Jonas, are going to be the people who are purists about this and say this is a historic story and you shouldn't change it because it's foundational to the West. I think they're going to hate it. I think casual audiences are going to despise this. Like, if you're a dude who loves this kind of stuff, Gladiator kind of stuff, John Wick kind of stuff, and you take your beloved to go see it, she is not going to have a good time unless she's into the same sort of thing. She's going to get you. You are not going to enjoy what you wished you enjoyed after the film, if you get my drift, okay? So, anyway, Here's the score I'm going to give it, folks. I am going to give, well, hang on. There we go. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey official review score from the Pro Channel, 6.5 out of 10. It is technically impressive. It is it's a tour to something, but it's a tour that doesn't work for me. Overall, I would say I don't want to see it again, and it should have been cut in half. Half of this movie is plenty. Plenty. That's where we'll leave it, Jonas. Super Chats right now. All right, folks, on the other side of the Super Chats, we're going to give the spoilers, and then everything will make sense. I'm sorry that when we do the spoiler-free, I just can't tell you what was terrible, but we'll get there.
Because I have so many questions about how they did certain things in the story of the Odyssey.
Yep.
Like Matt Damon when he comes back. Anyways, we'll get to it.
We'll be there. SX Southcast for $20. I like to see a good movie once in a while, but this one doesn't interest me at all. I think I'd rather see Barbie or Barbenheimer. Thank you, SSX, and really appreciate the $20. That is a heck of a super chat. Thank you so much. Gunner is out there for 50 crowns, says, I regret to say to you that the Viking ship they used in the film has even been panned by archaeologists as not being an accurate Viking ship. I don't think this movie's accurate. I don't think this movie is about being accurate at all, you know?
That's perfect.
You know, it's like if you went to go see Pocahontas and a musketeer showed up and you'd be like, what's a French musketeer doing? And never mind.
Right. I mean, you know, you think about movies like The Phantom that with Billy Carrie H from Mortal Kombat, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is also in that. You don't go see a movie like that to see period historically accurate anything. You go to see a fun time. So if you're going to do a big dramatic movie, okay, well, you need to make sure you're doing as much as possible to keep people into the big drama.
We've got Retromeister for 5. Oh, I don't seem to recall that Homer's story, not Homer Simpson of the Odyssey, was a tale about how diversity, equity, and inclusion was created. Thank you. And Eric Stratton is dropping a wonderful 5 WDW Pro memberships. Click the button and see if we can play Eric's clip for him. Eric, thank you. Appreciate you, Eric, very, very much. Let's see. We've got Todd.
You know, I'm just going to say Eric Stratton did kind of try to accuse me of disliking Lethal Weapon. You know, I'm just going to say. And I don't know if that's true.
It's not true.
Last time I checked, I liked Lethal Weapon. But,
okay, I was going to say
I didn't get a chance to watch the rated R version for the Monday Hangover. So.
Well, I was going to say there's a difference in last time I checked and just factually I like it. So clarify that in the future. Okay, man. Todd Grimm for $9.99. Wait a minute, just $9.99. No, I got it right. Just skip Nolan and watch Epic, the musical. It's 10,000% better and doesn't butcher Homer's Odyssey.
Is that what Epic is about? The Blue Sky movie is supposed to be Homer's Odyssey?
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think if you want to see the Odyssey that you watch this film. I don't think it is the Odyssey. I think it's Christopher Nolan's Odyssey.
You know, I think if you want to see the Odyssey, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is a fantastic film. And
you won't get kicked out of Woolworths. Planet AB for 5. If you're still looking for a Sid in your live actions Toy Story, I have a feeling Pool Noodle Page will be available after this one.
I think we should start calling Elliot Page Boy.
Noodle. John Maynard for $9.99. If it's 2 hours to get to the action, it's a waste of my precious time and money. And people who think it's okay or good have had their standards eroded so much that this is probably a piece of garbage. 0 out of 10. I don't think it's a 0 out of 10 because it's, from a technical standpoint, it's phenomenal. And we very rarely see any kind of film like this. It just doesn't come together at the end. And 2 hours is a very long time to slog. And slog it you do. Wilton's dad is gifting a membership. Thank you, Wilton's dad. We appreciate that. And Rubate for 2 Australian. Did they do to the Odyssey as they did to Dune? I would say that this is very similar to Dune. Yes, I would say that. And what they do with Zendaya is very similar as well. Flex Honcho for 5. Like Peter Griffin said of The Godfather, it insists upon itself. I say. We've got Mike D for 501. Hollywood Reporter today ranked all of Nolan's films, including Odyssey. They ranked Odyssey number 2 of all time. No bias there, I'm sure. We'll rank it if we hit the Super Chat goal. 14 out of 30 right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall see. Culture Casino for 199. Jonas's audio has never been better than that.
Thank you. I consider myself the luckiest man in the world.
Are you mocking Lou Gehrig? What is wrong with you?
No, I'm mocking his microphone.
What is wrong with you? You know that there's like 7 people in the history of humanity you can't mock, and Lou Gehrig is one of them.
I was mocking his audio-visual man.
You're a jerk. Irate for 2. Is it true that Culture Casino plays the sirens? Well, only when the EMTs come rolling in.
That's right.
Wolf of the Crime Dog for $4.99. As a crime dog, I can confirm we do not like being thrown off cliffs. See ya, puppy. Big Blue Horses for $4.99. Damon, Throne, Hathaway, we're good. Oh, wait, Big Blue Horses has seen it. Paige, Nyong'o, Zendaya were just awful. I agree. It's a non-historic. I agree. 3-hour Nolan vanity project. I agree. That's entirely forgettable. I agree. 6.5. Big Blue Horses, we are on the same page. Retromeister for 2. I'll save my movie funds for Coyote versus Acme. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to be.
My kids went nuts when they saw Wile E. Coyote up on the screen for the trailers. I mean, we're going to see that one.
Let's see. It's going to be interesting. By the way, folks, we got more than 1,400 of you joining us right now on YouTube. We're about 1,600 total across all platforms. We want to say hello, hi, thank you. We love having you here. Defcon Prime for 2. Cast Timothy Chalamet as MLK. Christopher Nolan's Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah. Except if it was that, MLK would be played by a black person, but then everyone else would be white around him. Like, oh boy. Listen, I lost my mind when suddenly there's an Asian guy who jumps off the boat. And can we start spoiling, Jonas? Can we start spoiling?
I'm okay with it. I got lots of questions.
Folks, are we good? We're in the super chats. If you don't want to hear the spoilers, just jump out now. Okay, here you go.
Hear about these puppy chucking soldiers.
Oh, okay. Well, the guy who trains Tom Holland, who is Odysseus' son, right? So the guy who trains him, Leguizamo, he's a blind dude, but he's not blind at the time because we're doing flashbacks. It's 2 hours of flashbacks. And Odysseus' hunting dog is discovered by Leguizamo because he's got these puppies and he's just chunking them off the cliff. And Odysseus walks by and sees the puppy that's about to get chunked off the cliff along with his brothers. And he's like, hey, I like that dog. And Leguizamo's like, he's a dog. And then Odysseus is like, yeah, I'll take him. And hands him the puppy. And then that puppy waits his, like all 20 years, like in the Futurama episode, for Odysseus to come back. And then they're mean. The bad guys are mean to the dog. Like they kick the dog, in his old age, who's trying to live long enough to see Odysseus. So when Odysseus gets back and they've thrown the dog in a pile of doo-doo to die, the bad guys have laid him on a pile of doo-doo. When Odysseus gets back, he pets his dog and it's on.
So a 20-year-old dog?
Yep.
That's okay. Maybe
Yep.
he's a dog of the gods. So throwing puppies, fine. Being mean to dogs, not fine. I'm just trying to follow the logic of the story.
You got it. Kaylee for 5. It is clearly a California film and Search the Dark Knight's audience. Unfortunately for Nolan, no Joker to save it this time. Yeah, I don't know about throwing puppies off a cliff. That's even a little much for me. KB Hugs for $4.99. Thank you. I don't pull that one out very often. KB Hugs for $4.99. Oh no, I turned Jonas into a beverage. I changed it right after the joke. At least you're the best tasting beverage ever, Jonas.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I tried to upload the avatar and I had to go with the only available picture that was already loaded into StreamYard. And I was talking to a client at some point and they were a conservative client. And so this is what I changed my avatar to for that. It's the only thing available. Oh, and I feel like that one lawyer who accidentally turned himself into a cat on that Zoom call.
You're telling me you could not have gotten on your phone or tablet and drawn a little smiley face real quick and be like, that's me.
Artistically drawing something, well, that's I'm only mildly artistic.
Oh boy.
Or at least that's what the doctor said.
I got the, oh boy. Doge Pal for 2. Hey, Retromeister, don't screw up. This time, LT fans. All right, we'll see. Your reverse Uno card for 5. So does this mean I would have to be very stoned to watch this movie? It would help you sleep through the first 2 hours. And then you'll have a pretty darn good movie at the end until the very, very end. Aaron Money for Aaron Money 99 gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you so much. And member exclusive content, again, on the way next week.
You're the one who's out of this world, sweet baby. You're the one who's out of this world.
Michael Stevens for $2. How many close-up shots of Athena frowning? All right, let's talk about that. This is the Zendaya character, right, Jonas?
Is she supposed to be Athena?
I think so. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way. Everybody, now this is your chance. You run if you don't want it spoiled. All right. Zendaya. Well, we'll have to back this up to explain. So in the original Odyssey, it is presented as a heroic thing that the walls of Troy are broken down, the gates are defeated with the Trojan horse. And that they're hiding inside the horse, they open the gates, and the city is taken after 10 years, right? That's right, Jonas?
Yeah.
All right, in this movie, that's a bad thing. And it's a bad thing because in this movie, Zeus's law says that if you are a guest of any location, you, number one, the host must accept you and be kind to you. And that's the foundation of human civilization and civility and the anti-barbarian way of life that had been forever before. And on the other side, the guest must treat the host with kindness in return. And because the Trojan horse is a gift, Odysseus, by doing that, has broken Zeus's law, and he has caused civilization to collapse.
Okay.
Now, hang on. Let me get to Zendaya, and then we'll come back to that. So this is a grave sin that he has done, and Odysseus has PTSD from what happens. From that, not from losing his men, but from seeing the atrocities that happen inside the city of Troy due to his actions. Zendaya plays a young girl who is beheaded once this happens, and Odysseus sees it, and she haunts him for the rest of the movie, but you don't know. You think she's a goddess for the entire film until the very, very end when you learn that no, she is actually a trauma ghost. She is actually Bruce Willis. She is a ghost, a vision to Odysseus, a girl that lost her life because he managed to get the soldiers into the city of Troy. She died as a result, and therefore her memory haunts him continuously, and that's what role she's playing.
That is really lame. Okay. Are they? So Helen of Troy is in this movie, even though Helen of Troy is not in the Odyssey.
Right, Lupita is here.
Right. The entire concept of Helen of Troy is that Paris takes Helen of Troy, and that there is a war that starts because Helen of Troy is taken, and there is this excuse for this war, and Agamemnon is fighting. Basically, how does that factor into Zeus's law? Or does the Zeus's law only apply to this one thing that happened?
This one thing
they abused.
This
is stupid. This is stupid. This is a period.
Well, that's what ruins the movie at the end. This is what ruins the movie, because you don't know that Zendaya is a trauma ghost until the very, very end, like the end. And you don't know that, in fact, Odysseus was always the bad guy because he's the one who caused the world to collapse. It's his fault. Everything is his fault, because when he did the Trojan horse, he broke a major, it was a sin against Zeus. And so everything that's been happening in the movie is actually Odysseus' fault.
Oh, okay. So when you were describing this to me before, I thought that you were saying that this is a hallucination of some kind inside Matt Damon's head.
Well,
But
Zendaya.
You're saying that that MJ is actually a spirit
Nope.
sent from Zeus?
Nope. She's just a trauma thing. She's just a trauma hallucination. But so everybody in Odysseus's old town that he leaves is terrified of the sea people. And when he gets back, what's revealed at the very end to him and to everybody else is he's actually the sea people, the uncivilized, because he is the one who opened the gates of uncivility by letting the Trojan horse go into Troy. By doing that trick where you pretend to be a gift, pretend to be a guest, but you break that bond, you break that rule. That was the glue that held together human civilization. The idea that we won't attack each other out in the wilderness. We'll be, a guest is welcomed.
So it's an anti-immigration story then.
You wouldn't want to tell them that. Okay, let's get through the rest of these, and then we'll keep going with the spoilers. I think the chat's about to lose their minds after hearing this, and I bet some people who saw the movie are just now hearing that and going, "Oh, that's what that was." Yes. All right, we've got Wolf and McGruffle for 535. According to my calculations, a 6.5 score adjusted for 2026 inflation is a 3.5. This is way better than Animal Farm. John for 5. So a dog goes to heaven. Heaven doesn't exist in this movie. There is no heaven. There is just hell. Like literally. And I guess that's Greek mythology, right, Jonas?
Yeah, kind of the ancient idea of you go into the place of the dead,
Hades.
And it's not particularly pleasant or unpleasant. But
It's unpleasant here. This is unpleasant. It says, do they steal the Alita battle angel scene where she paints the doggo's blood on her face? No, but let's go to the other part that I couldn't say in the spoiler. So the artist formerly known as Paige is only in this film for like 5 minutes, but it's awful. So awful. And the part that's the worst is Paige shows up as a shade in hell and is furious at Odysseus. And it doesn't work. Because here is who's supposed to be this betrayed masculine soldier who looks like a 12-year-old boy covered in hell goo mud stuff. I don't know what it is, but they're all covered in it. And tries to give a raspy, angry speech. And it doesn't work. It sounds like a granny. It sounds like a 12-year-old boy trying to drop the voice down. Like it just doesn't work. I don't know how to describe it.
Does it sound like Batman and when Christian Bale's doing Batman?
Let me pitch up. Let me see if this works. Okay, I'm going to pitch myself up to South Park to see if I can make it sound like this.
Okay.
How dare you, Odysseus? I'm a tough man. I'm a tough soldier. You come back to hell for me? How dare you?
That's about
Does
right.
it sound like Eric Cartman?
Kind of.
Screw you, Odysseus! Screw you! This is my part. Get out of here! Go get me my brown gravy.
Yeah. So that it really does not work. It is, and that's the point where you say, okay, this casting was made not for the film.
I really feel like Bern Gorman should have played that part.
It's bad. Got it for 20. So Odysseus is Walder Frey in this world. In a way.
Why does that sound familiar? What is Walder Frey?
Walder Frey, your nightmares. John for 5. So shills are saying $115 to $130 million opening, assuming a 50% drop per week. This looks weak. Is that worldwide? No, that's what they're saying domestically, right? Because they're calling 200 million. I'll be shocked if they get to 115. Because of what we're seeing. I mean, we've played it before. I guess we could play it again, folks. Here is, if we put it up on the screen, here is Marvin's Theater. And this, listen, I had 3 other people in my theater. 3 people. Here's Marvin's Theater in Greenville, South Carolina, when he goes to see the first showing of the day.
It's a packed showing for the Odyssey here, guys. Hey, isn't this a movie that's supposed to be like making $1 billion, right? That's what everyone told me. All right, this is in an IMAX theater, so it's empty.
So I don't think it's gonna crash in the first weekend. But I don't think this has legs. I could be wrong. Okay, moving on. We got KB Hugs from $1.99. How does a villain then take a hero's journey? Well, they don't really explain that, except that I guess he pays his dues, is what the message is from Christopher Nolan. Like he goes through such, and maybe that's what the whole story then is about. Like the way it's changed is the 20 years of torment is him paying back, and then he returns to his kingdom as a beggar, like a little old beggar, and that's how he pays his dues, I guess.
Okay, so is he disguising himself as the beggar? Because this is actually a question I had. How do they pull off him looking like a beggar?
Heavy robes, just giant robes,
and then there's a Robin Hood scene. Do they? Okay,
Yep.
so I wonder if TSG Entertainment actually participated in this because their title card is the arrow through the axe heads.
Yep.
So he's supposed to be the only one who is mighty enough to do this feat of firing an arrow through, is it 10 axe heads?
8, 10, 12, something like that.
Yeah. How do they do?
He's also the only scene? He's the only one who can string his bow. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
They do it. So he at first, it's so complicated. But there's this thing where they lock all the suitors in the house, and if whoever wants to marry his wife has to be able to string the bow, and none of them can do it. And then the ultimate bad guy, he doesn't want to even try. And then the beggar comes up, and at first he can't do it, and everybody laughs at him. And then he really gives it all he's got because it's been so long, and he strings it. And they're all shocked, and he pulls it, and he fires it through all the axes, and then they're all trying to flee. And then that's where it gets silly, though, because he's in a room of like 100 people, and he just massacres them like it's nothing. And then it gets even sillier because Tom Holland is actually fighting upstairs above him, and there's a teeny weeny itsy bitsy hole cut in the ceiling in that fight. And it just so happens at just the exact moment that Odysseus is about to lose, that Tom Holland drops a sword straight down the teeny weeny hole, and it just so happens that Odysseus is straight under that hole with his hand and catches the sword and you know.
Can they see each other?
No, and it's just so silly.
So, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's that kind of movie based off of the tone that you have described.
There are too many moments of Deus Ex Machina. There's too many moments of just incredible plot convenience. Anyway.
So, I mean, that it kind of happens in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Well, it's okay in that kind of a movie.
Okay,
but this one's being played so straight and serious. And let me tell you, the scene with the woman who changes the sailors into animals.
Mm-hmm,
now, you talk about disturbing. I mean, the Cyclops is disturbing, but that scene where she takes her hands as they're eating and can't stop, when she takes her hands and begins to break their jaws and mold them into the animals. I mean, you talk about ugh. It reminded me of the masks from Beetlejuice. Remember when the ghosts are trying to get rid of the new owners, and
and they pull their eyeballs out. And
that's what it was like as she was doing that to them, turning them into aliens or turning them into pigs. John for 5, how dare you? Wow, really bold of Nolan to include Greta.
How dare you?
Dare you? Chef Eddie for 5, didn't the people of Troy violate Zeus's law first by not welcoming the army led by Odysseus and locking the gates? Fair point. Don't think too hard. It's not that kind of movie. Alan Jen for 2, so basically this movie is smelling its own farts. It's just, here's what it is. See, I don't even think that it's trying to blame the white guy, Odysseus, which sounds funny in a Greek story, but he's the white guy in this one. But I don't think it's that. It's just like he tried to come up with too many twists and turns. Like the reason that Paige is in the movie is because Paige took the place of a little kid to go to war, and Odysseus allowed it to happen, and the little kid grew up to be the one who's the super bad guy who's trying to marry Odysseus's wife, and there's just all this stuff, and too much. It's just too much. Again, it's 3 hours plus. Stephen Rue for $4.99. Was the acting from this hodgepodge of actors worth anything? It is very much a hodgepodge. Some of them do very well, and some of them are lackluster indeed. So the ones who do well, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Matt Damon, and then...
How does Himesh Patel do?
Say what?
Himesh Patel, how does he do? The Indian guy.
Who's he playing?
I have no idea.
Is he the second in command guy?
He might be. If you've seen the movie Yesterday, he's actually quite great in it.
I couldn't keep up, man. There's so many people that are of non-Greek heritage, and I can't keep up because then they change their looks to look like they're Greek soldiers. I can't keep up.
Is he the one in the clip that goes out where he identifies himself as a Greek and he's got a Canadian accent?
I don't know. It's all through the movie. So that's how he did, eh? That's how he did.
Hey, no, you'll know him from this. He's the one who plays John Watson in Enola Holmes 3.
Sorry. John for $5. I remember Mythbusters doing the arrow through the axis thing, but they were using a modern compound bow, I believe. Pretty sure they did it, though. Yeah, it's probably you could probably do it. I mean, not you, not me, but somebody. Wolfle for $2. Very excited to not watch this movie. And then we've got Detailed Devil for $1.99. Pro need to cut half point for tricking the audience to see. Well, that's the job of the marketing, eh? And I'm not sure the marketing did real well. All right, Jonas, you got any more questions for me in regards to Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey?
Charybdis. Do they do Charybdis? The giant creature in the ocean that swallows entire ships.
Nope. They do. They dodge the whirlpool. They get sucked up by the octopus thing in the cliffs. The Cyclops is unbelievably disturbing, and especially its screams. It was almost nauseating, the screams, and it's gratuitous when they stab it in the eye and stuff. It's really too much. Does the
Cyclops do the "nobody is in here" line that is so peculiar?
It's so weird. The Cyclops scene really pulled me out of the movie. So the Cyclops' eye is not aimed in the normal direction, and that's off-putting. But the Cyclops doesn't speak until after it's been stabbed in the eye, and then the audience can't understand it, but it's like crying out to the gods somehow. But one of the soldiers understands, and then he says, "I didn't know that it could speak. Should we reason with it?" And then Odysseus looks at him and says, "Yeah, I think it's a little late for that." And that
he did try to eat them.
But that came across as like Marvel, and it was like, I don't know. It didn't work for me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Okay, so you got Calypso, you got Charybdis. For some reason, Helen of Troy is in this, even though she's from a different story.
Well, she's only there because Odysseus' son set sail to find out what happened to his father. And he comes across a city where some king there knows what happened. And he's married to Helen of Troy, but she's been maimed so that she's not beautiful anymore.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Circe, who's the witch with the lotus eaters that makes people forget.
Is she supposed to be beautiful?
Generally speaking, generally speaking, they do cast someone who's good looking as Circe.
Okay, Circe is the witch, right? The witch on the island. Okay, right. Well, she's played by like a 50-year-old woman. Yeah. It's an odd thing.
She was an actor. She was in The Walking Dead, and I think she was on a show on Stars. She's not traditionally someone you would go to for.
Pretty weird.
The ingenue, I'll say.
Pretty weird. So she turns them all into pigs. Then Odysseus shows up, and he won't eat the stuff. And she tries to kill him, but he grabs her crow, who happens to be her sister. Oh. And then she's like, "Oh well, you beat me. I'll turn your pals back into real butt naked humans again. And by the way, you go ahead and flee, but they're going to die. So there you go."
So one more. How do they do the sirens?
Oh, you don't even hardly see them. They're so far off, and the audio cuts off because when the soldiers put the wax in their ears, the audience gets the sound of like what it would be like to have wax in their ears. So you get nothing.
Oh, I hate that. So
Yeah.
Odysseus in the original, Odysseus is the only one who gets to hear the siren song, and he commands them to just ignore him until they are past the range of the sirens. And the sirens are kind of like mermaids. It's supposed to be, that's the original idea of the mermaid is the beautiful woman on top, but actually it's a hideous sea creature that's going to drag you to your drowning death. It's a very classic, superstitious
chimera
sailor kind of idea. In this, is that what the sirens are?
They're so far off you can't tell.
Yeah.
They're in the fog and they're super far off. The thing I'll say, Jonas, is they're so. I mean, like maybe there's 2 minutes of anything that's beautiful in this movie, and so there's really nothing to fight for. Like it doesn't matter if there's not fields of green clover and kids and families. Like it just doesn't. Who cares? Like it's just so brutalist. That's what I would say. I should have said this in the non-spoiler. This is a brutalist film. Like it's hard to find anything that's worth fighting for except just fighting for the sake of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal. All right, keeping going here. We got Detail Devil for $4.99. Normie lemmings seeking spectacle may one time flock to Odyssey. People value authentic artistry over mishmash, virtue signal pretense, and will avoid or feel regret. I think fear of missing out is going to take some effect here. I think word of mouth will not carry it very well. I think there's going to be some group who say that you got to see it because it's spectacle. I think there's going to be another group that says it's 3 hours. Good Lord. And ultimately, I think Spider-Man knocks this thing out of theaters. John for $5, I can't picture Tom Holland in a mass fight scene without hearing Underoos. Coaster Track for $5.11. Will this movie even be shown in Greece? I'd probably try to stop it.
If I was the Greek government, I'd be asking for my tax credits back.
The Mad Matt for 10. It looked like Helen of Troy was channeling Grace Jones from Conan the Destroyer in one scene. Was it as much fun? No. Now, this movie is not fun. I think that's one thing you can definitely say. It's not fun. You might find it poignant. You might think that it says something to you. You might think it's spectacle. But fun is not something I would use to describe it. By the way, we've hit the goal, folks. We'll rank the Christopher Nolan films in just a minute. Chihuahua Dad for $4.99. Thanks for the puppy warning, Pro. Hard pass for me. Poor little puppies. Hey, the Snarkster's out there for $5. Without the shades, Pro is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Younger with darker, different hair. Howdy, fellas. Howdy, Snarky. Good to see you, buddy. John for $4.99. I'd rather reread Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters again, despite an author having used the lamest excuse for punishing rational people.
Yeah, they did. They did do Cersei in. They did the Lotus Eaters, I should say, in Lightning Thief. So
we've got Tinder Warrior coming back at us with a little bit of a clip and a quip. Member for 38 months. I'll watch Armande Asante's 1997 2-part miniseries, The Odyssey, instead.
Vanessa
and
Williams.
Then, would you look at that, folks? We've got gifted memberships from the Snarkster dropping 5. It's been so long since we played the Fudgedora. Folks, so long to sad days, he's back again. All right, we've got SXS Outcast for 2 saying, is Jonas AI?
Yes. And you're right. I'm glad that you caught that. I'll correct that in the future.
011010001, Jonas. John for $4.99. I'm hearing far more negative comments takes in the spoiler-filled portion. Why do you give your score before the spoiler-filled portion? Because I want people who are interested in knowing the review and are weighing going to see the film. I want them to know what the score is, and then we'll go deeper, after that. But I want people to be able to decide, if whatever my voice gives them in terms of picking a movie for the weekend, I want them to hear what my score is and not be forced to listen to the spoilers as part of that. So that's why. John for 5, Grace Jones in Conan was actually kind of scary hot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Grace Jones was not a bad-looking woman. She was just that kind of 80s era, very strong femme fatale. Who was it? Was it Bridget Jones? Not Bridget Jones. Bridget Nielsen? What was the Bridget in the Beverly Hills Cop movies?
Has there ever been an ugly Bridget? That's the question. John's gifting 10 pro memberships.
What are those?
These are my Spider-Man pajamas.
Let me rephrase that. Why are you wearing those?
Because my He-Man pajamas are in the laundry.
All right, we've got Snarky out there says, you need to miss me occasionally. Snarky, we miss you every time. All right, let's rank these movies, Jonas.
Yeah, I missed that squish sound, I gotta say.
That's right. All right, here we go. It's time to rank Christopher Nolan films. Folks, you helped us hit the Super Chat goal. Let's do so right now. For those of you just joining us, 6.5 out of 10 is what we rated The Odyssey. I have lots of things to say about it. Story-wise that are negative, but on a technical standpoint, and on a spectacle standpoint, it's a heck of a movie that way. I just don't know that I want to see it again, but hey. All right, Jonas, I'm going to get your help on this, and let's zoom in a little bit so I can see better here. There we go, and so the audience can see better. This will be better. Okay. All right, first up, Jonas, we got Batman Begins. There's S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and never seen. All right, Batman Begins. Jonas, where would you rank that in terms of,
It's an A for me, for sure.
Yeah, I'll put it on an A. A it is.
As soon as that movie was done, I remember watching it in theaters and turning to my friend who went with me and said, "Man, I can't wait for the next one."
All right, The Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises?
Oh wait. Let's not get let's not get out of order. Let's go The Dark Knight.
I'm going to say that's S tier. That's a great movie.
I agree. S tier movie. Okay, now Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to give that a
I'm in the
C.
Yeah, I was. If
I'm
we
close
had
to D.
S, A, I would say B on that. It's not awful, but it doesn't get any favors from being in the same trilogy as Dark Knight and Batman Begins.
I think it's a very forgettable film. All right, Dunkirk. Dunkirk for me is an S tier, and I think it's his best film ever.
Really, for me, it's a B or a C.
Really?
I didn't have much interest. For me, that was the forgettable one.
Oh, okay, so you say a B or a C, and I'm saying it's S. Really, really good. Let's put it at A tier, then below Batman Begins, since we're working together on this. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. Inception. Where are you going to put that, Jonas?
Ooh, I think Inception's an A. I recently went back and watched that because I wanted to watch it with the kids, and so the only thing I edited out was there was a GD in there a couple of times. Man, that's a good movie.
Okay,
entertaining, deep, lots to chew on if you want to examine the film. Really good stuff.
All right, Insomnia.
Haven't seen it. That's the one with. Is that the one with Al Pacino or with Robin Williams?
Pacino. So I haven't seen it in a while. I think I might have fallen asleep in parts of it. So I'm okay.
Ironic.
I'm okay with giving it either a B, or considering you've never seen it and I slept through parts of it, I'm good with never seen as well. Which way you want to go?
I've never seen. I think.
Okay.
I don't.
Right.
I
in
hate
all
to
fairness,
judge a film.
Interstellar, Jonas. Where are we going to put that one?
I had a fantastic conversation after watching this film. I'm going to say that makes it a great film in my opinion. So that's an A for me.
Okay, I'll put it as an A. I don't think it's as good as Batman Begins, but it's really, really close. It's hard to even judge those two against each other. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I would say they're two very different animals.
Okay.
And
all right, Memento. Memento, I think, is very funny because it's forgettable. I would put Memento down at C.
Yeah, Memento is one of those films that the concept and the idea of the film is very impressive, but I've never gone back to watch it.
Yeah. All right, Oppenheimer. Jonas, what do you say for Oppenheimer?
I heard there's like a 9-minute nude scene, so I just skipped it.
I'm going to give it a B because, well, partly for that reason. I think it's gratuitous in some ways that are unnecessary, and that's one of those ways that I think it's gratuitous. But I think it's gratuitous in some ways that kind of hold it back from being even better, even though people loved it and it made $1 billion. That good with you, a B?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I'm abdicating voting on this one for reasons. If I ever
Tenet.
do watch it, I've heard. Never watched it.
Okay. Tenet to me is around that same level. I'm gonna. How do I put it above Oppenheimer? No, I think Oppenheimer is better than Tenet. I think Tenet lands there. I mean, I could be pushed to put Dark Knight Rises down the D, honestly, but we'll leave it alone. All right, Following. Did you ever watch Following? It's I think
no, that's
that his first one.
I think that is a short film. Even like I think that he might have done that while he was in school. Or something like that.
Well, no, because that one, if I'm not mistaken, no, you're right. You're right. Put it in never seen. The one that I'm thinking of is The Prestige. That's the one that's about England a century ago. That's got Hugh Jackman and it's got what's his name? Guy who plays Batman. I can't think of his name right now. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Scarlett Johansson.
Where are you putting Where are you going to put The Prestige?
Bowie. S tier, and if there was a tier above S tier, I would put The Prestige there. The Prestige is one of my favorite films of all time.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you put it above The Dark Knight?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you.
The list of films that I would put above Prestige is pretty small.
Okay. And so this brings us now to the point of doing the rankings. Where would we put The Odyssey? Now, you haven't seen it yet. I have. And here's what I would say. It is not as good as Oppenheimer or Tenet.
Okay.
But I think it's better than the Dark. Oh, wait a minute. It's more spectacular than The Dark Knight Rises.
Really?
But it's not as enjoyable for the majority of the film. I think it's a C, and I think it's between Dark Knight Rises and Memento for The Odyssey. That's where I would put The Odyssey. But Christopher Nolan still does not have a D. I mean, he still has not. That sounds bad. Christopher Nolan has still not produced a film that I would put at the bottom. Shut up, Jonas. Can't believe we just did that.
That's Sanon's problem.
Just get out of here. You're done. All right, so that's so, folks. We did this so people can't say, they just hate everything. No. I mean, Steven Spielberg's made great movies. Disclosure Day is not one of them. Christopher Nolan has made incredible movies. The Odyssey is a strange thing because it's like if you threw everything he had at it, he threw everything he has. It is there is no penny saved. There is not a single moment of sacrifice, and yet it doesn't come together to work. Really, it just doesn't. It's just missing some stuff, and part of what it's missing is beauty. It's missing something beautiful that makes us care about the characters and root for them and fighting. Instead, it's just so brutal that we're like, just everybody's dying. Can we all die and let's get out of this movie? Let's go. It's been going on forever. And that's how it goes. And so it goes, and so it goes, and you're the only one who knows.
Man,
all right, Jonas J. Campbell. It is, isn't it? Billy Joel. By the way, folks, I saw Billy Joel interviewed. It's a video that just came out. I forget the guy. He's a famous YouTuber who interviews him. It is such a great interview. It is so.
Rick Beato, I believe.
Yes.
Beato. Great channel.
Yeah, I cannot recommend that video enough. That is an incredible interview, and the knowledge that Billy Joel has and his ability to sit down and just start playing any type of music from memory. It doesn't matter. It just happens. Mozart, fine. Some song he heard yesterday, one time on the radio. There it goes. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You could do that in concert, and I'd go listen to that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we love having so many of you here. We want to, because we've got so many with us right now, 1,600 on YouTube and way more on X, we want to send this to the right folks. We want to redirect to the right peeps. So if in the chat, give us an idea. Who would you like for us to do the redirect to? What's a YouTube channel out there that would benefit us sending so many of you as kind of a surprise? Who's out there right now streaming? Let us know, and we'll see. We'll go with, mostly whoever comes up first, we'll go with that. Who we got out there, folks?
We have the Odyssey Sucks.
Pro needs to get Eastbound and Down. Eastbound and Down.
Speaking of Eastbound and Down.
Something trucking.
Do you see Danny McBride is going to be directing the G.I. Joe movie?
I did not.
Yeah, Bradley. The talks around that make it look very interesting. So,
all right, so we've got some suggestions here. Price of Reason, Vera Dark, who we love, Critical Drinker. I'm a big fan of Critical Drinker. Obviously, we're about to hang out, but I'm looking for one that might get a big boost if we do this.
I think Price of Reason. I haven't gotten to do him a solid for a while.
Okay,
so.
let's do that. Well, actually, so we've got. Okay,
Wait,
I just got
Blaine is streaming right now.
Blaine, apparently, I just got a note that Echo Based Network is going as well.
Oh yeah. If Echo Base is going,
let's see. Price of Reason. Let me see how far everybody is into their streams.
We'll really be able to hold it over their heads if we send all of our audience over there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm at a Buc-ee's and some trashy girl just decided to straddle the Buc-ee's statue.
I won't make the joke. You're not doing it to me this time, Jonas.
I'm just telling you that's I've revealed my location, and that's actually lowered it down to a very finite number of places in the United States.
I have a very not okay joke, and I'm not going to make it. All right, so I'm hearing the Echo Based Network actually just ended, so that solves that. All right, Price of Reason, is that what we're going with? Because Vera Dark's doing a gaming stream. Price of Reason. What's the name of this one? Is this, let's see. Is it the A-Team? Season 1, Episode 1? That can't be it. Price of Reason. Give me the link, Jonas, or somebody. Somebody out there, give me the link.
I'm not in a space that I can do two things on
You're trying to save Bucky. I know what you're up to.
Well, she's released him, so there's that. So,
well, you still gotta scrub it up, dub.
Oh, and now we've got a young man that's come across, and he's laying down in Bucky's arms.
Now, wait a minute. So this is the Odyssey early review, but this comes out at 11:45 p.m. Are we going to redirect to somebody at 11:45 p.m.?
Let's not do that.
Okay. Come on, peeps, help me out. Is Critical Drinker going right now? Echo Based Network just closed theirs down, or else we would send them to them.
Somebody told me to stop stealing all of our water and electricity at Buc-ee's. I paid for my gas. They did limit me to 15 gallons, though.
Okie dokie. A-Team is correct. Douglas Nutt wants to go to the A-Team. Let's see. I was just kidding about Critical Drinker. D-Day Cobra? Is Jeremy going? Surely not. No, they're not live right now. Let's see. Ryan is live, but he doesn't have a redirect set up where you can redirect to him. All right, folks, we're gonna go with Vera. The only reason I was not immediately being like, "Hey, we're going to Vera Dark," is because she's doing a gaming stream, and we try to stay within the same genre. But let's do that. Let's send you over now to Vera Dark. That's where we'll go. Price is live and reviewing the A-Team pilot show. You know what? Okay. We'll go with that then. Price of Reason. I love this, that we're sending you to the A-Team. This is too great. All right, folks.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Mexican, what does it say? Mexican Skyride reaction? Too good. Let's make sure we've got all our super chats cleared. All right, Doge Pal for 2. Nolan's Odyssey, Made for Hollywood Elites, and the Oscars. Yeah, it is one battle after another, 2.0. All right, folks, we're going to send you over there. Tell Price of Reason and the A-Team that we sent you. And remember, I pity the fool who dares spend all that time saying, "Ew, Pro and Jonas just don't like anything," because we did our reviews of all these films, and we love some of them. We love them a lot. Folks, have a great one. I'm hitting the road. Jonas is on the road. Everybody's on the road. And Lorne Connor, if he's listening in, he's not. Lorne has had the hardest day ever. He's on a shuttle right now from one airport to the other, trying to get to South Carolina, literally. Jonas, we're going to have a bucket of chicken for him as a surprise tomorrow. A-okay?
I was just going to give him some beaver nuggets, but okay.
No. It's a full bucket. The full. Colonel's bucket.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.